What's up, everybody? Today we are going to be making this in Fusion 360, and it's going to be a complete tutorial on how to do the faceplate. This is going to be a very big tutorial, and it's going to have a lot of parts to it, so stay tuned for the next parts. But today we are just making this gold faceplate part, and yeah, so let's start a new file. This is a continuation of my other video on the 3D printed version of this. Go check that out. I'll link it in the description probably. Alright, so the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get some reference pictures. I already have some, and I can link these in the description too. So this is the front. You're just going to select the surface, and then you're going to increase the size a little bit. Then I'll show you how to make these the right size in just a second, but what you're going to want to do first is just get them into the sketch. So I selected this surface, or this axis, this plane, I guess you could say, for the first one. So I'm going to select this one now because it's the left image. Gonna increase that a little bit. All right, so now you have this little drop box, the canvases, and what you want to do with that is basically right click on one of them, press calibrate, and then go to it. So this is the front side, so it's right there. So from ear to ear, the average human head is like 7.5 inches. And I've also already made this, so I know that this is about right. The other one didn't fit me too well. It was only 7 inches, so I'm going to increase it by half an inch. And obviously that grew a little bit, but that is scaled so that now anything that we add to this, it's going to be the right size. Now we have to do it with the other one, so let's hit calibrate, or actually let's hit edit canvas. And what we're going to want to do is line it up with the other one. So basically, I'm just going to go right here, and I'm going to try to line it up perfectly until it's right there. So that looks about good to me. I'm going to go 4.9 instead of 4.903. And yeah, let me see if I can try this here as well. Nope. All right, so that looks good to me. They look pretty even. Now we have two views of the same thing, and that's basically how we're going to design this whole thing. So what we want to do first is we want to go to our front view in this cube in the top right. So just click front view, and we're going to create a new sketch. The sketch is going to be on this plane, so it's going to be on right there if you click the image for the sketch plane. And the most important thing that you want to do is go over here to the sketch palette right here, and you're going to want to click 3D sketch. If that's not clicked, none of this will work. So after you have 3D sketch clicked, you're going to go over to create, and you're going to press the point tool, and you're basically going to zoom in on all of the corners. So here, 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 up here, and you're going to put a point there. And if there's a little curve to it, you want to add a point to the middle as well. So I'm going to add a point right there, a point right there, and a point right there because there's a little curve to that one. And then I'm going to zoom in over here. I'm going to add a point right there and a point in the middle of that. And then I'm going to add a midpoint over here. That looks good to me. Actually, I'm going to cancel. I'm going to move this over here just by clicking and dragging because we don't really want too many things in the middle because we're going to mirror this later. So what you're going to do is only do one side of this completely. Add a point there, add a point there, and then we're going to mirror it later. So right there, that looks pretty good. There we go. So the general idea is just to zoom in, put it on all the corners, all the pieces, and then if there's a curve, you just want to add something to the middle. This is a big curve, so I'm just going to add a few points there. That looks good. Looks good. Looks good. All right. I'm going to move some of these so they're a little more accurate. And yeah, hopefully you guys are following along so far. If you aren't, then just let me know. Oh, I just pressed appearance when I tap the A key, but it's alright, just X out of that and then you'll be back here. So now we gotta go up here to create and press point again. Gotta get that right there. And this is an S curve, so you're gonna want 4 points here. One in the middle, and one in the middle of each of those. And this one is kind of an S curve as well. So one in the middle, one on each end, one in the middle of those. And sometimes I would say the less points the better in general, because eventually you're going to have to connect all these dots and you really don't want to be connecting a bunch of them. Yeah, so I'm just going to move this down a little bit so that this part's, oh no, that part's actually curved, so just barely curved, but you can still tell. Okay, that has a point, that has a point. If I'm moving too fast, just comment down below. And if you have any questions, comment down below as well. Right there and right there. These are in the middle, so I'm going to move them over a little bit. Then this should be straight with this. I'm just going to do that. Okay, let's add some more points. So eventually what we're going to do with all these points is connect them with the spline tool. And once we do that, well, you'll see. It's pretty cool stuff though. It's very interesting. And right here, watch out for these. You don't want any of these parallel things, because if you keep them here, then it's going to mess everything up, because you see if when I try to move this, it moves both of them. And if you do mess something up like that, just hit Control Z and it'll go back. But to get rid of these, just select them and press delete. That's what I'm doing right there. All right. Now we just have to do the eyes, and then we should be good. Go to create, press point, corner of the eye, right there. That's about the corner of the eye, so that's fine. Then I'm gonna go boom and boom. All right. I'll put something right there too. So I don't think I'm missing anything. I have that. Boom, boom, boom. All right, that looks good to me. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw a line somewhere in the center. Just go to the line tool and go to the center line and just go straight up. Then what you're gonna wanna do is kind of delete these dots so that it doesn't get all confused. Oh wait, actually you don't want to delete those dots because then it'll, you gotta redo all that. Okay, because you want to be able to select this line so that you can use it as your mirroring tool. I'm gonna do this. I think if you press this and select X on it, yeah, that makes it a construction line. There we go. And that means that I won't be able to select it if I do this. Oh, I'm just kidding. It's selecting it still. So I'm just going to unselect that, unselect the line, and I'm going to go over to the mirror tool. And now that's going to mirror it all over to the other side, as you can see. I'm going to press OK, and now we're all good. I don't know what all these are. Hang on. What does this mean? Oh, it did all of it. It mirrored everything. So you just got to go to all the points. There we go. I could kind of select all there. This is going to be a little tedious, not going to lie. This didn't happen to me last time. I'm not sure why it's happening this time. But yeah, there we go. That's an easy way to do that. Okay. So now we have all the points on this view, but as you can see, they're not lined up at all on this one right here. So what we want to do, because it's a 3D sketch, we can kind of go on this view right here. And what we want to do is angle it a little bit and then select both of these. Hold shift to select both. and we want to press M to move them, and we're going to move them until they're in the right position. And the more you zoom in, the more that it could be, or the more accurate it is when it's moving. So that's how you can help with that. And now you can see, if you can kind of tell, it's correct right there, and it's correct right there. So that's what you want to do with all of the points. And the reason that I didn't mirror it after doing like each of these individually is because it just doesn't work like that. Like you can't move it, or the mirroring doesn't work the same after you've already moved it in 3D. The mirroring only works in 2 dimensions, I believe. So to help with doing this, I'm going to go to multiple viewports down here. I'm just going to get these ones out of the way. Grab this line, go up. Grab this line, go up. So now we can tell that when we select this line, it's right there. That's the middle point. I don't want that. When I select that line, it's right there. So when I press repeat move / copy and I drag the line right there, I can tell that I grabbed those dots. I can tell where it's going. Otherwise, there's just a bunch of dots on the screen and I'm not really sure where it's going. And what you want to do is you want to line it everything up based off of this one. Don't base it off of this one. Base it off of the side view. I mean, it really doesn't matter which one you base it off of, but you're moving it over here anyways. You just have to pick one. Trying to get very accurate with this. Just right on the corner. That looks good. And this one, these ones look like they're up here. Yep. I'm going to zoom in, get it right on the line. I like to go based off of the glare and kind of go in the middle of that. But it really doesn't matter. It's up to you. Just keep it consistent. I got to zoom in a ton for these ones. That's the middle line. Don't want that. Okay. We can press repeat move / copy or just press M. Kind of doing it the long way right now. Okay, so these are on the corners. So that's going to be right there because I believe this is a red piece and these are gold. All right, I think I'm going to time lapse the rest of this, but follow along, slow it down if you want, and I might post the video of untime lapsed later. Who knows? Comment down below if you want that, but for now I'm going to time lapse it. All right, now that we have it all done, we can see, hang on, let me delete this canvas real quick. We can kind of see a general outline for an Iron Man mask. And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna get that canvas back, and we get the front view over here too. There we go. We're gonna start using the spline tool to connect them. So that's this tool up here, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna notice that you can't really connect anything when it's flat, so you have to shift and middle mouse button it over, and then you can connect this, this, and this. If it's a curve, do it with 3, but if it's straight, then just do it with 1, so right there to there. And you're gonna want to do it like this, with this over here and this over here, so that you can tell you're that you're tapping the right dot. Because right here, I can't tell where the hell that is, but since it's over here, I can. So yeah, that's the trick to it. That's a curve, so I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna get that one. That's the wrong dot, like I showed you earlier. It's very hard to tell. And this is actually a curve right here. So if you mess up, just select the line and press delete. And then you can come up here again, press fit point spline. Go right there to there to there, I believe. Yep. All right. Now we're gonna do this whole part. Looks good to me. And then we're gonna do this part too. Actually, let's just go to the other side now. Where's that at? That's right there. Oh, I never moved this dot, it looks like. Oh no, this dot's not even supposed to be there. Just delete it. There we go. Okay, back to fit point spline. Go over there and over there. That one's straight, so it's easy. And you can right click to repeat the spline every time. And just keep doing this until you get it down. Takes a little bit of practice, but once you get it, it is not too difficult. I've done this before, obviously, so it's a little easier for me. There's that. Looks good. And every time you finish a curve or finish a straight line, you want to right click. So let me show this for as an example. I'm going to go down here, and because it's going to want to curve this now, if I come over here, I want to come over here to a random location, right click, and press OK. Another option, like I'm going to show you right now, is once you do this curve right here, right, you can go over here and press the check mark, and it'll do the same thing as pressing OK. I think I did that in a different way than I did the other one, so let me do this right here. 1, 2, 3. Wait, yeah. So 1, 2, 3. Undo. So you want to do all of them the same way so it looks symmetric. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, repeat, and then connect those two one more time. Oh shit, I selected the wrong line, didn't I? One more time on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then repeat and select that. That looks pretty good over here. I think I'm actually going to walk you guys through all of this just so that you know how to do it instead of time lapsing this time. Go down here. It's a straight line. Go up here. straight line again. And you kind of want to make these into sort of patches, you could say. And that's going to come up later. It's going to help you a lot if you do it right now. Kind of make it into little sections instead of just one big thing. All right. Sorry if I'm not giving much of an explanation. If you have any questions, again, please leave a comment down below and let me know if you want a second tutorial, because as I said before, this tutorial is only for the faceplate. So yeah, just let me know. And I'll gladly do a second tutorial. I love doing this shit. So yeah, I'm planning on teaching you guys how to make the entire mask, motorized and all. So keep on a lookout for that. Maybe subscribe. And yeah, you get the gist. Close two, there we go. Alright, now you can see we're kind of getting something that looks a little more like Iron Man than a bunch of dots, you know? So that's pretty sweet. I'm gonna go back to the front, angle it a little bit. We go from there to there to there. I think I can get away with that. Looks good. Ooh, see, look at that. I fucked up there. That is not good. Oh, alright. So go over here, go to front, go over here, press the spline tool. I think I selected the wrong dot, so I'm going to go there, I'm going to go there, I'm going to go there. Alright, now it's good, there we go. That looks good to me. Fit point spline, boom, 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 and boom. There to right there. That should be fine. But you can add a little bit of curve with it like this. That is way too much. Just like that. That's a little bit of curve with those green dots, if you were wondering what those are. I don't like to mess with that too much because it's super complicated and above my pay grade. But yeah. If you want to do that, feel free. But I am not going to do that very much today. Where's that dot? There we go, right there. Boom, boom, boom. Just like that. Easy money. And then actually, I made a lot of dots that are kind of pointless because today I'm not going to be doing this bottom part right here. That part, it's disconnected from the faceplate, so I'm going to be doing that in the next tutorial basically. And then for now, we'll just do this top part. If you've never used Fusion 360 before and you want to start with this, I would not recommend it. This is some advanced stuff, but if you haven't used it before, just search up some tutorials and I think you'll be fine if I'm being honest. Alright, that is the faceplate done. These look a little funky. I'm just going to delete all that. Go back to the home view. Do this. Select spline. And then I'm just going to do a few at a time. And then feel free to move these dots as well. Like that's not very lined up, so I'm going to move it up a little bit along with this one. They're not just stuck in place, you know. You can move it at any time. There's another constraint that's stopping me. Just gonna delete that. What is happening? I think I duplicated it somehow. I'm gonna delete it again. Alright, and these are the last two for today. Good enough. Just gonna move a little bit so it looks a little better. Come on. Alright, that looks good to me. Now, as you can see, that's definitely looking like Iron Man. So the next step, I personally am going to get out of this multiple viewport, whatever. Some people don't like doing that, but what you're going to do is finish the sketch. I'm going to get rid of this canvas as well. And that looks pretty good. All the dots are connected. Looks good to me. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to surface. So from design, from solid, you're going to go to surface and you're going to press patch. And what you want to do is select all of this stuff. And then it's going to patch it like that. I'm going to unclick enable chaining because sometimes that messes it up. But now what you have, and you're going to want to redo that sketch, turn it back on with visibility. Now what you have is a piece with no thickness, but you have a body. It is now a body instead of just a bunch of lines, which is a good thing because then we can thicken it. We'll do that after I select all of these. And sometimes you run into a problem when this button enabled chaining is selected. So just don't do that and you'll be alright. And also one of the things that I learned through trial and error, a lot of it, is that you can't just select all of this stuff before you patch it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, if you're running into problems, those are the two most common solutions. Disable enable chaining and unselect everything and select it after you press patch. As you can see, that didn't work because I didn't complete the box basically. So anything with an edge that has an open edge, it's not going to work. I'm not sure why it's not working now. Let me look at this. Here, we're just going to patch this instead. It's probably because training was enabled, if I'm being honest. There's that. I'm going to hit OK. And feel free to right click and press repeat patch. This one doesn't want to work either. Let me see what's happening. Let me zoom in, try to tell. Interesting. Sometimes this happens and it totally sucks. Repeat patch, there we go. Weird. But anyways, you get the idea. You're just going to select all of the edges, and I'm going to come back when I figure this out. Alright, so for some reason it just magically started working, so I'm going to select all these edges again. Maybe I missed an edge the first time, I'm not really sure. But here we go. There we go. Once it turns gold or gray slash silver, then you're good to go. There we go. There we go. Not sure why it didn't work at first, but it didn't, so it's alright. And now we really have an Iron Man helmet. If you disable a sketch, all the dots will disappear, and you can tell that's an Iron Man faceplate. But if you couldn't tell before, this is very thin. There's no real life thickness to this. So what you want to do, first you want to stitch everything together so it's all one piece. Just select all the faces. Alright, that looks good. Then press OK. And now it's all, oh, I forgot a couple faces. Okay, all that, that. Now it's all one body, which is perfect. That's exactly what we want. Now we can thicken it. So what you're going to do, you're going to select the body, and let me find it. Where is it at? Thicken, right here. I'm going to press thicken, and basically what it's going to do is, oh, it's going to lag for a second is what it's going to do, because I just pulled it way too far. That is so unfortunate. Yeah, so the operation couldn't be done because it was way too thick. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go negative 0.1 inches. That's usually a good thickness. That's what I did my last helmet at, and yeah, let me see what's happening. So one of the problems might be when we stitched it, it actually made all the parts separate, or it made them all together. So let me try to thicken them individually. And you go negative 0.1 on this one. That one worked. Gonna repeat thicken. Go 0.1 on this one since it's facing the opposite way. Now on this one, I'm gonna go negative 0.1 as well. So basically the problem is that they intersect. That's the main problem. And when they intersect, the computer processing system doesn't really like that, especially when it's all one body. So, and also you want to extrude it on the inside, because right here, obviously that looks a little weird because you designed it perfectly to be on the inside. That looks good. I'm going to repeat thicken on this, negative 0.1. Looks good again. So if all of these end up working, then my theory of it being, yeah, it all worked. So basically what happened is that it was all chained together, and that made it so that the bodies intersected when you tried to thicken it, and it wasn't very good. So that's the Iron Man faceplate. That's how you make it. To make this back part of it, I'm going to do another tutorial on that. But for now, this is the Iron Man faceplate, and that's the end of the tutorial. If you want to do the appearance that I did in the other one, you can just press A and then go to, where is it at? So it looks like I think I did metal, then gold, maybe not. Metal and gold, there we go. And then just drag it on top. Metal, gold. There we go, now drag that. Yep, gold, just drag it on every single body. And that is how you get the design, the color for the design. I'm going to close out of that. And yeah, so that's the Iron Man faceplate. I will send, or I will link this in the description, the Fusion 360 files, so you can look at it step by step. And if you need any help at all, please comment down below and let me know how I can help. Please be on the lookout for more tutorials, and yeah, I will see you next time. Like, comment, and subscribe.